All right, so you've ordered some goods or services online, in person at a store, really anywhere over the phone, and you haven't gotten those goods and it's been several weeks. What can you do? Well, under Ohio law, you may have some recourse under the Consumer Sales Practices Act because the Ohio Attorney General's office has identified some specific conduct when it comes to a failure to deliver goods that it is deemed to be deceptive in conjunction with consumer transactions. One pertains to when a supplier or provider of the goods or services promises or advertises prompt delivery. It is deceptive for a supplier to do that unless there is a reasonable basis for the supplier to basically make that representation. So essentially, a supplier of goods can't promise you're going to get something right away knowing that it's not going to happen. That's a deceptive act. And another instance is when a consumer has paid the supplier for the goods or services and there has been a failure to deliver on the part of the supplier. The Ohio Attorney General's office has deemed that it is deceptive if 8 weeks elapse without the goods being delivered, a full refund being made, the supplier offering an explanation for the delayed delivery, and also offering to make a full refund within 2 weeks if the consumer so desires. Or lastly, it's deceptive if the supplier doesn't offer substitute goods of equal or greater value if the consumer agrees to that. So it's sort of like a good faith effort to get the goods or services into the consumer's hands. So really the bottom line is there's protections for consumers when a supplier fails to make delivery of the goods or makes some false promises about prompt delivery. There could be potentially a claim for the consumer against that supplier under the Consumer Sales Practices Act, which could include some additional damages into whatever you have already lost, in addition to attorney's fees. So keep that in mind if you've ever been wronged on any transaction for goods or services when you're dealing with a consumer transaction, because you might have a case under Ohio law and you might be entitled to some additional damages.